Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Ryan, the Hot Toys Collector, back with another Hot Toys unboxing, and I promised that we would get some other properties, and today I'm delivering on that. We got Gellert Grindelwald from the Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. So this is a cool figure. I was lucky to get this, so before we get into it, let's hit the intro and let's go. Okay, so here we have Gellert Grindelwald right here in the box. You can see it looks really cool here. Picture of Johnny Depp playing the character on the front. So this was a warehouse find on Sideshow.com, so you can get lucky from every now and then, and they will find a couple figures in their warehouse and they put them up on the website. They go very fast, so you got to be lucky. You got to be looking at Sideshow just the right time. I was lucky enough to get this guy. And I actually got the Season 1 Mandalorian at the same time. That one's coming soon as well. So we got the Crimes of Grindelwald here on the back, on the side. Here we go again on the back with the credits. And then we've got it here on the other side. So let's take off the top of the box. And then we've got the cast and crew here on the title card. So a little different. We got the credits here instead of a picture of the figure. So let's take this off and let's get our first look at the figure. Now, he doesn't come with a lot of accessories, but he comes with a little bit. So let's go ahead and get him out of the box and let's take a closer look at him in the clamshell. All right, so here we have the accessories. We don't have a lot, but we do have a little bit. So let's take a look at the base first. I like this right here on the base. It gives it that when he's in, I think he's in the Ministry of Defense. I watched a clip on YouTube, like I said before. I hadn't seen this movie, so I watched a clip on YouTube, and this is kind of what it reminded me of. So I guess that's what it's supposed to be. We got his name right there on the nameplate, which is cool. And this one actually, I believe, has the slip that comes off. I'll have to check that later when I go to pose. Then we get our normal crotch grabber. Let's take a look at the skulls. So this is the smoke. We'll call this the smoking skull. This is the regular one if you don't want the light up feature. And then you've got this tube right here. And then this is the one that actually lights up. I've already put the batteries in, so we just put the batteries under there. We'll kick it on. You can see it lights up like that. So that's pretty cool. Be a nice little touch to add. And then if you want to, what you do is, we'll kick that off. You take the tube out of this one very carefully. And then you slide it into this one very carefully. And then you're going to get that ability to have it look like he's smoking out of the skull. So then we also have a pendant, and I'm going to try to get this into focus so y'all can see it. Whoop. No edits here, boys and girls. No edits. So, trying to see. Yeah, we can see that pretty well. So this thing will go on his jacket, and then this slips over the top of his head. You can see it. That looks really cool. And then let's get a look at probably the most important thing a wizard can have in the Harry Potter world, his wand. You see it looks really good. The details on this are really nice. I'm going to try to get it where we can see close up. Yeah, it looks really good. So that looks really cool. And then you get one hand that's already got the wand in it. Now this wand isn't removable, so don't be pulling on it and trying to get this out of there because you're just going to end up breaking it. Unless maybe that's what you want to do is break it. So here's another hand. This is a left hand. You can see the detail on the hands is really nice. It's kind of got that paler skin tone to it that matches his look. And then we get another hand to hold the wand, which is for this one. And then we get a right one and a left one for that. So those would look really cool. So let's go ahead and bring the figure back in here and let's take a closer look at some articulations. Things like that. Let's get this stuff off. I really like this this jacket. This jacket's got a really cool look to it. It's very soft, fabric. Looks really nice. You can see there we got nice, nice look on the head sculpt. We're going to have to pop the head off so we can get this little guy off of there. We got a closer look here at the head sculpt. Looks really cool. You can see the two-tone eye color there. Right eye's a little bit different than the left. You see the hair's got that silver grayish metallic sheen to it. I guess you could use this as like a headless horseman body. It kind of looks like it. For Ichabod Crane. That's an old figure. And it's been a long time since I have actually seen one of those figures in person. Sorry. That was a little bit hard to get on. So, now you can take the jacket off and you just swing the arms back, pop off the hands, the jacket will slide off, and you get this look here with him in his vest. You see we've got a few little things here on his vest, look really cool. A couple different things. I wouldn't try to play with them too much because I would say once they get detached, you're going to be in trouble. And we get a look there of the vest on the inside. He's got a blue shirt there and then a white undershirt. His belt. The pants are that leather material. There's a little bit of padding in there. As we go further up, there's a little bit of padding in there. And then I probably should have taken these off beforehand. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and cut them off. And while I'm doing that, why don't you drop down in the comments below and let me know what you think about this film. I don't really know much about it. I've watched all the other Harry Potter films, and I enjoy them for the most part. What I would call the Harry Potter saga is pretty good. I always enjoyed it. I never, I never really had a whole lot of issues with it. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of things just like with Marvel that, fans go in and find and be like, oh, well, I'd like to change this, I'd like to change that, whatever it may be. But for the most part, with me at least, I've enjoyed the films. And if they're on TV, I will usually stop and watch them. Probably my favorite, I like Prisoner of Azkaban. That was the first book that I read. I actually read them out of order when I started. So that one probably has a special place for me. So, now that we have those off, let's take a look at the boots here. So I'm going to have to pop these off and get, well actually you can take off the shoes and do that, or if you're like me and you don't want to do that and you just want to be lazy and you just kind of pull them off, and then of course you got to be careful because you might get a piece stuck up in there, but those came off pretty well. So there we get a look at the boots, look really good. So let's kind of go through the articulation here. So we're going to put the arm up right at 90. That looks good. Same as always, we get a little bit of swivel there. We get our elbow joint, boom, boom, boom. Hand joint. Oh, I didn't even realize that was on there as well. I actually thought that was part of his undershirt at first, like the old puffy shirt Seinfeld gag. I thought that was kind of part of it, but it is not. It is paper that needed to be removed. So, get his arm back on there, get his hand back on. So we get some pretty good articulation there. Pretty typical there with the hand. Look at the head. You get your typical swivel. So he's going to look down quite a bit, and he's going to look up quite a bit. You get actually a pretty decent amount of ab crunch, considering that he's got a lot of clothing here to get through. Get some pretty good twist. Wouldn't push it more than that. The suit's already starting to get a little bit of wear to it. And then leg-wise, this is where you're going to want to be careful because of the leather pants. You're not going to get a lot pushed up. That's about as much as you're going to get right there. That ain't a lot. And then we get our double jointed knee. But as you start to mess around with this, you're going to start to see creases in this leather, so you do want to be cautious of that. Now these are a little bit of that, the boots are a little bit more of that slip style boot, but they don't really go up like the Thor boots. So you get pretty good foot articulation there. He's going to point down, side to side, and a little bit of pivot, which is cool. So, all in all, I think it's a really solid figure. This is probably one of my first non-comic or Star Wars figures that I have in my collection. I'd have to go through and look. I know I don't have many, and his head just popped off. That's fun. I hope it didn't get damaged. I guess we can check and see. Well, head sculpt seemed to be okay. So that's a good thing. If you drop the head, that it's not going to get damaged. I'm not sure why that did not stay on. But he's going to give it the Headless Horseman here for the end of this. So let's go ahead and get the light box out here, and we'll take a closer look at him in the light box and put up for the final pose. Alright, so here we got him set up in the light box for our final pose. And I went ahead and used the skull with the smoking look because I thought it looked really cool. So we'll get a good look here. I got the skull lit up. That looks really cool. Good look at the head sculpt there. That looks really awesome. More look at the details. I put the pendant on. I'm not sure if I put that on correctly, but that's kind of what the instructions showed me to do. I went in and put his wand right there. It doesn't tell you to do that, but I thought that, you know, he's got to have it on him somewhere, and that seemed to be about the likeliest place. And when I did that, I was very careful with it because I didn't want to rub and potentially tear his pants right there. So you got to be very careful if you're going to do it that way. So good look at the boots. Good look at the base. Looks really good. I'll come back out here. So I appreciate y'all watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to give this guy, I'm going to give him a 3.5 out of 5. It's a solid figure. That's not a bad, it's not a low rating. Anything below a 3 would be a bad rating. But there's not a lot of accessories. And, you know, without Newt, he kind of just looks bare. He's going to look bare on the shelf. Hopefully I'll get Newt here fairly soon, and we'll add him to the collection as well. So I appreciate it. If you want to see some pictures of this guy, head on over to my Instagram at the Hot Toys Collector. It just popped up. I'm also on Twitter and TikTok. I post all the time over there. So I appreciate it. Y'all come over and say hello. And please drop down in the comments and let me know which one of the movies was your favorite. And I appreciate everybody watching, and we will see you in the next video. See you guys.